So, how do you know when Derek has a bad hair day? Hats, hats, and more hats. Now, it is actually a special time on Friday. Brian, do you know what time it is? That's right. It's tea time. For this week's topic, some random person I think chose favorite piece of art. I had a little trouble deciding because I have a pretty broad definition for art. I think that art can be anything that artists purposefully make to invoke some sort of response out of an audience. And I say that's a broad definition because that means that we have books, theater, painting, photography, clothing, pretty much the list goes on. I decided to pick from one of my favorite pieces of art, which would be this. And the reason that it's one of my favorite pieces of art because it kind of wraps up this whole art thing all into one idea. Now, the piece of art was made by Clive Barker, but he's also a writer. He's writer of the book called Abarat, from which this painting was made for. It's one of the beginning paintings of the setting right before it jumps into the big, rising action of seeing this whole fantasy world. So the author of the book was kind of in this rut, and he just began painting these very abstract, very interesting looking characters, and just continued to paint all of these, and he had this idea that he should write a story throughout all of the paintings. Now, in the finished version of the books, each one has 100 or so oil paintings that were placed on the page for you to get an idea of the setting, the story behind it, what the characters look like, how imaginative and beautiful the world really was. I believe that this was just really a great way to tell a story. I mean, it didn't take anything away from the story for me. There wasn't any characters that it described and that I thought differently. It brought new color, new imagination to every single one of the characters, because as soon as you get that first idea of what they look like, then you can really imagine seeing them move, seeing them walk, seeing them climb, and all these crazy things. And so that's why it's kind of one of my favorite pieces of art, is because it's part of such of a big story. It portrays one of those ideas, one of those emotions, one of those moments during this whole story beyond this one character. And getting that glimpse of that kind of is a beautiful way of what art is that everyone has some sort of story, everyone wants to portray something, to remember some sort of feeling, and through art we kind of try to capture that. We take the idea and try to make it something that we can share and show people. And so that's the kind of way that I see that my art is doing, is I have some projects like this one, or something like this, and I've even done a project like this, where I took the idea from what I saw in my friends and how they're affected by their parents, and I took that whole concept and I kind of imagined it in this sort of way of representing each parent on one side of the artwork, which in this case was the left shoe and the right shoe, and how that affected the person and how that person perceived it, and then having them input that on their own individual shoes. And so I just like to do that with the first two. I kind of built off of the person that I knew and just try to take what I knew about them and make it beautiful and make it collected into artwork. So I could show them, be like, look how awesome you are. This is like represents you and it's beautiful. People should look at it and be excited about what they see on your feet and excited about the person who's wearing them because they're based off of the person. So that's my ideas on art. For recap of my week, I'm gonna go really quick. So it's been the first week of rehearsals at Core. It's been so amazing. They are so talented over there. I'm not saying that I am super talented. I am talented. I'm not gonna say that I suck, but I didn't think that we were gonna be like amazing singing these songs at the first week of rehearsals. And new people, new friends. Beyond Core, I started my week at Interlake and Sammamish, and I'm tech directing for both, which means I'm basically running the people who run all the sound and all the lights. And so I had to teach the little techies like the basics of everything, and I'm going to have to continue that next week. And then I had to teach the actual designer, which I suspected that I had to do. And it's a big project. Finally, I just want to let you know, big life decision. I decided that I'm going to hold off on my education for being a teacher, and I've decided to just get into my career of working as a technical director and working on lights, sound, sets, and all that. So I'm looking for big internships this summer. It also means that I don't know what I'm doing at Bellevue College anymore. Brian, I'll see you on Monday. Get it done. Kirsten, I will see you on Wednesday. See my hair like this on Friday. Whew. I'll see you guys next week. Peace! Can't wait to see what happens. Oh wait, no. I can't end it like that. No, that's not nearly dramatic enough.